All right, welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to do something a little different today and take a very serious, deeply academic look at something that is, well, utterly ridiculous. We are about to unpack a raw, completely unfiltered 60-word digital artifact pulled straight from the deepest depths of the internet. Specifically, it's a transcript extracted from a YouTube video uploaded by the channel MoFunny, proudly titled, Try Not to Laugh, Best Funny Videos Compilation, Memes Part 2. But as you'll see in just a moment, the actual words spoken in this compilation paint a picture that's less about comedy and literally entirely about absolute chaos.
So that brings us to a really fascinating question. What actually happens when the human brain is subjected to the ultimate digital test? You know, we usually think of meme compilations as light, easy entertainment, right? Just a quick chuckle to pass the time. But if we strip away the flashing visuals, mute the loud sound effects, and just look at the raw textual data of what is happening, the try not to laugh format stops looking like entertainment. It starts looking like a grueling psychological endurance challenge. It's a total barrage of sensory input. Okay, let's dive into this. Just take a look at the stark contrast here between intent and reality. You have the creator's clear, upbeat intent, promising joy, practically commanding you to try not to laugh with a parade of smiling emojis. But then, look at the reality of the actual transcript. Hidden beneath that joyful title is this chilling string of text. No, I don't like this. This extreme juxtaposition between the bright packaging and the dark reality of the actual audio transcript is our first major clue. We aren't just dealing with jokes here. We are dealing with raw, unfiltered emotional distress cleverly disguised as comedy.
Section 1. Linguistics of Digital Chaos. Quantifying the absurd. To truly grasp what we're looking at, we kind of have to throw out all our assumptions about what a funny video is actually supposed to be. For the next few minutes, we're going to treat this completely unpunctuated, chaotic string of exactly 60 words strictly as hard linguistic data. We're putting this artifact under the microscope and letting the numbers speak for themselves. And the first number that jumps out, 18. Just let that sink in for a second. 18. In a totally unedited transcript consisting of a mere 60 words, this one specific data point emerges, and honestly, it is absolutely staggering. That 18 represents the exact number of times the word no is frantically repeated within this tiny fragment of text. Think about what that actually means. Almost a third of the entire vocabulary used in this supposedly hilarious compilation is dedicated solely to denial, rejection, and outright panic. When you mathematically break it down, the primary emotion being communicated here isn't joy at all. It is desperate refusal.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what I mean. If we look at the frequency of the most notable phrases, the visual is striking. The word no is just towering over everything else at 18 occurrences. Trailing far behind, we have a basic, polite greeting, hello, showing up just 3 times. And then, the internet catchphrase, these nuts, appears only twice. To put that into perspective, this data mathematically proves the dominance of fear over basic greetings or planned meme punchlines. The jokes are just completely swallowed whole by an absolute tidal wave of no.
Section 2. The anatomy of panic. The repetition of refusal. Now that we've quantified the sheer volume of distress, we need to look at how these words are actually structured. Because they don't just pop up randomly, right? They cluster together in ways that clearly indicate a psychological and emotional breaking point. Just take a breath and absorb the absolute chaos of this exact quote pulled directly from the artifact. No, come back, no. No punctuation, no pause for breath. This isn't someone calmly disagreeing. This is the sound of total, uninterrupted chaos. This is a person, or maybe multiple audio clips colliding together, crying out in inescapable desperation. And remember, this deeply haunting sentence is trapped within a compilation designed solely to make you laugh.
Let's move to the timeline and see how this builds across the very short lifespan of this audio clip. We can actually map out a rapid, deeply jarring emotional shift here. It starts somewhat normally at second 1 with a polite, hello everybody. But almost instantly, by second 3, we are thrust into confrontation with these nuts Gotti. By second 7, the situation completely deteriorates into that total panic we just talked about. No. Yet somehow, bizarrely, by second 15, we land on a sudden, eerie sense of acceptance with the phrase, refreshing that's. It's a total whiplash journey. You go from a polite introduction to a complete psychological meltdown, and finally into something utterly inexplicable.
Section 3. Relics of Meme Culture. Excavating the Audio Artifacts.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how specific, recognizable landmarks are scattered amidst this total linguistic meltdown. If we shift our academic lens and play digital archaeologists for a second, we can isolate the internet catchphrases buried alive within all this panic. We have "these nuts, Gotti," "look at this dude," and "wait till you see the." If you've spent any time online, you definitely recognize these. They're iconic meme punchlines. But here's the catch. In this specific transcript, they aren't functioning as jokes anymore. Stripped of their original context, they act more like isolated pieces of digital art or fragmented audio debris just floating around inside a tornado of confusion.
Look closely at how they literally smash together in the source text. "Look at this dude, wait till you see the..." Again, absolutely zero punctuation, just a relentless stream of consciousness. This perfectly captures how meme culture actually functions today, doesn't it? It overlaps and collides. One viral idea bleeds aggressively into the next before your brain even has time to process the first one. It creates this aggressive, high-speed wall of noise.
Section 4. The resolution of refreshment, the abrupt end.
So the crucial point is how this chaotic 60-word journey actually resolves. Because after all the confrontation, the panic, the 18 desperate no's, the ending is arguably the most nonsensical part of the whole shebang. These final 3 stages demonstrate a sudden, whiplash-inducing pivot. Step 1 is pure drez, "I don't like this ready." Step 2 is immediate shock, "Oh my God." And then, completely out of nowhere, step 3 is an absurd, almost robotic satisfaction. "Hello, refreshing that's." Going from "I don't like this" directly into finding something refreshing is entirely illogical. It's literally the emotional equivalent of a car crashing into a brick wall and the driver immediately commenting on how lovely the weather is.
Honestly, based on this text, we almost have to redefine what the word refreshing even means in the modern internet era. In the context of our digital artifact, refreshing isn't about feeling rested at all. It's the final, abrupt state of acceptance after you have been subjected to extreme digital distress. The phrase "refreshing that's" serves as this entirely illogical, unhinged capstone to a frantic experience. It's as